Well, hello again. We have a number of folks who are just logging in, so before our main program begins, I wanted to offer a personal welcome to you and a thanks for joining us. On the YWCA's website, we have posted bios and photos of all of the women being honored today. That includes our 3 Tribute Award recipients, as well as our sponsors, Women of Achievement, and the young women who are receiving tribute scholarships today. All of these are located at our website at ywcawcmi.org/tribute. And I encourage you to visit them when you have a moment. These are extraordinary women with inspiring stories. We hope you find time to get to know them just a little bit better. Also, we have a fun addition to this year's tribute program, a little something new. Everyone who has joined us today is invited to record your own personalized video message in our virtual video booth. You can leave a message for the 2020 Tribute Award recipients, or you can record a congratulatory message for Women of Achievement, or really any exceptional woman that you know. You can do it by yourself, or you can do it as a group. Whatever works best for you, and you have all day to record your video to make this an entire day of tribute. You'll find a live link in the chat box, or you can type videobooth.app/YWCA tribute into a new browser window. Everyone's message will be compiled, and then we'll share the finished product with all of you. And lastly, I want to express the YWCA's deep appreciation for a couple of groups. First, we are here with you today because of the tremendous work of the YWCA Tribute Planning and Selection Committee. These exceptional volunteers came on board almost at the very moment everything about tribute began to change. They were encouraging, they were committed, and they were determined, and we could not be more grateful. I want to extend special gratitude equally to our sponsors. That includes our title sponsor, Fifth Third Bank, West Michigan, our ally sponsors, Meyer, Spectrum Health, and Steelcase, and all of the individuals, the companies, the organizations who signed on to Tribute 2020. The investments that you've made in the YWCA's work to address domestic and sexual violence and social justice are critical to what we're able to do to support survivors in our community. The challenges that survivors face are always significant, but the pandemic has made difficult and frightening situations even more so. The complexity, the intensity of need has been extraordinary, but because of you, we can be there for them. Thank you. And to our guests, thank you. We are delighted that you're here. Just a few minutes, and the YWCA's Tribute Award celebration will begin.
Fifth Third Bank is proud to once again be part of the YWCA's Tribute Awards. On behalf of Fifth Third, I want to congratulate the 2020 Tribute Award honorees.
Cindy Rogowski, Managing Counsel at Meyer and a YW board member. Meyer is thrilled to be a part of the YWCA's Tribute Awards once again and is so pleased to congratulate the 2020 Tribute Award recipients, Shannon, LaDonna, and Olivia. What amazing role models you are. You inspire us to be our best selves. Thank you. Today, know that we're cheering you on, applauding your success, and learning from your example. Congratulations again.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Katerberg, and I work as a crisis advocate at the YWCA. The work that we do is hard sometimes, but I have to tell you that I look forward every year to Tribute, and in part, not just because of the ways that I feel proud to work at a place that empowers people, but for the ways that Tribute Award winners inspire me so much to continue in this work. I'm just so impressed with the ways that your passion and desire for change makes such a difference in our world and in Grand Rapids. So never think that the work that you're doing doesn't have an impact, because it absolutely does. And I need inspiration to keep going in my work. So thank you so, so much for just being who you are.
Good morning. My name is Beth O'Shaughnessy, and I am Chief Administrative Officer and General Counsel of Steelcase. I'm sure I speak for all present when I lament the fact that we cannot yet come together face to face to celebrate the amazing women being honored today. That said, we are nothing if not resilient, and we won't let our circumstances diminish the importance of commemorating these women. Whether furthering the advancement of women of color to executive leadership positions, or promoting a culture of neighbors helping neighbors, or furthering her studies at City High in the midst of a pandemic, these women not only deserve our praise, but also our deep gratitude, for they inspire us. Shannon, LaDonna, Olivia, congratulations. We applaud your passion and your accomplishments. Thank you.
Congratulations to Shannon, LaDonna, Olivia. So happy for you. You so deserve it.
Welcome to the YWCA Tribute Awards celebration. It is 11:11 at 11 a.m., so I'm pretty sure that bodes well for us today. There's some good luck in the air. As part of today being November 11th, we know that it is Veterans Day. So I want to pause and take a moment and say thank you to all the servicemen and women in our country and your families for the sacrifice that you make for all of us. Thank you so much. So 2020 has been a pretty remarkable year for a lot of reasons. But one pretty exciting one is that it marks the YWCA's 120th anniversary. This organization has seen a lot and weathered a lot of storms, and we are still standing. This year's Tribute Award celebration is a testament to this organization's resilience and the amazing support of our community. To everyone who has joined us this morning and been a part of our mission for 120 years, thank you. In the last 120 years, we've also been a part of moments and efforts that have moved our entire community forward. In 2020, the YWCA's mission has never been more relevant. And in this moment, I see the amazing opportunity for this community to make great leaps forward. Later on, I'll be introducing our community engagement program and talk a bit more about that and how you can personally be a part of it. One woman in particular was a shining example of what it looks like to engage in the kind of hard work necessary to move a community forward with your full heart. Deb Bailey passed away in April. She was involved in countless organizations, and each has a story about the great work she did with them. This is especially true for the YWCA. It's hard to think of a YWCA committee that she didn't serve on, or an event that she didn't participate in wholeheartedly. Her involvement spanned 3 CEOs and 2 capital campaigns. She was part of every aspect of this organization, from being a house mother at what was once our YWCA boarding house, to her leadership as the YWCA's board president. There are only a few people in the community who have had as constant a presence in this organization as Deb. It's no surprise that she was also a Tribute Award recipient, and she co-chaired Tribute many times. So it's fitting that this is where we would formally pay one last tribute to her. I want to offer special thanks to Class Quant at Grand Rapids Community College and to Deb's good friend, Susan Shannon, for helping make this possible.
Well, I moved back to Grand Rapids after I had lived overseas for a number of years. One thing has led to another, and I've been very involved in women's organizations, from the Women's Resource Center to the YWCA. A lot of people say, I don't know how you do it all. I don't know how you get involved and work full time. I usually say to them in jest, but most of it's the truth, is that I don't exercise. I don't clean my house very often. I didn't become a parent until I was 40 years old, and I adopted my daughter. So that leaves me with lots of time to get things done. And what I get out of it is the company of the people I get to keep. So in all these organizations that I'm involved, I look around the table, and these are the kind of people that are my role models, and these are the kind of people that I aspire to be. I think the best advice I've ever given is to encourage people to be authentic, and that it's just impossible to role play through your life. And if you're authentic, you will find yourself in organizations and environments that appreciate who you are and understand who you're not. The only way that you can establish your own point of view is to be exposed to diverse points of view. That's part of education. It's to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, to put yourself in areas that you've not been exposed to. I really have somehow always had at least one or two women in my life that have really pushed me and inspired me. I've always had these role models ahead of me that have always reached out a helping hand to pull me along, and I'm so appreciative of that. I think we all have different gifts. I also express people I've got a lot to learn too. Every day I get up and I just try and do the best I can with what I've got, and if that's what I'm able to do at the end of the day, I feel pretty darn good about that. It feels pretty darn good to be recognized by an organization like the YWCA. And when I think of the Tribute Awards, again, that's a great example of wanting to keep good company with good people.
Whew, I swear I can feel her here with us today. Deb was a remarkable person, and it is an honor for us to recognize her. She provides us with such a beautiful example of what commitment to service from the heart looks like, and we certainly hope we're doing her proud. So we have lots of ways for each of you to interact with us today. In the chat, you'll see a link to a video guest book where you can record a quick congratulations to this year's honorees. And we want to hear from you. We want to see you today in the chat. Of course, you'll have chances to donate because Tribute is, after all, a fundraiser. And we have someone answering any questions that you have. Just post them in the chat. We're standing by. Now, I am joined by Susan Vogel-Vanderson, Senior Vice President and Managing Director of Fifth Third Private Bank, and also co-chair of the 2020 Tribute Planning Committee. So at the beginning of the pandemic, we started reaching out to all of our longtime supporters like Fifth Third. And at that time, all we could say was, things are changing quickly. We're not exactly sure what Tribute's going to look like, but you'll be the first to know when we start rebuilding. Fifth Third's response was, don't worry, we are committed to the YW and to your work. We will follow your lead. Just let us know how we can help. Susan, that was such a powerful message to send, and we are so incredibly grateful to have received it.
Charisse, you are so welcome. I want to offer Fifth Third Bank's heartfelt congratulations and appreciation to this year's Tribute Award recipients. Shannon Cohen, LaDonna Norman, and Olivia Grover, you are an inspiration. You are extraordinary role models, and today we celebrate you. And Charisse, it is an honor for us to work with the YWCA on Tribute once again. The longevity of our partnership is an indication of our shared commitment to our community. At Fifth Third, our mission is to strengthen our community, not solely by the products we offer, but by engaging in efforts that will sustain individuals and families. This is reflected in our community development efforts, philanthropy, leadership, and certainly our 26-year partnership of this event. The services you provide are invaluable. Not only do we know the incredible importance of the YWCA to this community, but we are also very aware of the importance Tribute has had as a fundraiser for the YWCA's critical services to address domestic and sexual violence. That is why I agreed to serve as co-chair of the Tribute Planning Committee. We have $50,000 to raise today through Tribute, so I'm inviting everyone in our audience to please consider joining me by giving a gift. I am very pleased to announce that previous Tribute Award recipients are offering a $15,000 match. So your contributions to Tribute will be matched 1-to-1. Please give. We've tried to make this as easy as possible. If you're registered by late last week, a gift envelope was included with the confirmation materials sent to you. If you need another one, just send a private message to us in the chat. You'll also see on your screen a couple of ways to give online. You can click directly on the donate button that is on your screen. In addition, you should be able to see the URL for the YWCA's donation page. Just type ywcawcmi.org/give into a new browser window. As we get started, I want to share a short video that helps provide a sense of just what your support is part of.
We are here. As a global pandemic dominates our daily lives, as long-fought battles for equality and justice bubble up to the forefront, as we wonder what's next for our country, our world, we at the YWCA are here. As we have been for over 120 years. We mark our 120th anniversary this year amid profound cultural shifts, race, gender, politics, economics. We're seeing how inequity in one area feeds inequity in others. But there are two constants: the ever-present need to support victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, and the certainty of our commitment to them at the YWCA. We're here. We are open. We are needed as much as ever. This is part of a legacy at the YWCA in Grand Rapids to recognize the needs of the time and how to change women's lives. From those first coming to the city and needing a safe place to stay in the early 1900s, to those who led the charge for civil rights and women's equality, to those who turn to us today for healing in the wake of domestic violence and sexual assault. Each of these individuals sought a place to call their own, where they are seen and heard, and each of them found it here at the YWCA. So we will continue bringing that change and that hope. Our shelter remains open to the mother and her children needing a safe place to rebuild their lives away from domestic violence. The counseling appointment, whether it's in person or online, will be available for the adult who is ready to heal from the sexual abuse he faced as a child. The support group for survivors from the LGBTQ community will still meet. The 24-hour helpline will be answered for anyone who needs it. Help navigating the court system, moving into safe housing, specially trained nurses performing rape exams, all provided safely and with care for what survivors face and for what this year has brought. We can't be safe. We can't be empowered until all of us are safe and empowered. Because Black lives matter. Because domestic violence and sexual assault are not just women's issues. Because everyone deserves peace, justice, freedom, and dignity. Because of all of these things, the YWCA is here.
Hi, I'm Peggy Bishop. I've been a YWCA volunteer for 40 years, and I currently serve as board treasurer. Welcome to Tribute. This is one of my favorite events because we honor such special women. I'd like to send my congratulations to our tribute honorees, as well as the young women who are being awarded scholarships today. Kudos to all of you for the wonderful things that you do. I'd also like to thank the staff of the YWCA for the wonderful job they continue to do to serve our community. Many years ago, I personally lost a friend to domestic violence. There is not a day goes by that I don't think of her. I am deeply committed to making sure other people experiencing domestic violence find the help when they need it. These days, there's a lot of need. We've all been affected in one way or the other by this pandemic. The isolation and fear that many of us are feeling is what daily life is like for victims of domestic violence. Fortunately, the YWCA is here to help, and private contributions make that possible. Please join me. I'm offering a $2,500 match for the next 30 minutes. So go grab that credit card and make a gift to support this wonderful organization. If you prefer to send a check, that will qualify for the match as well. Just let the YWCA know in the next 30 minutes. You can send a private chat in the chat box. Thank you so much for considering a gift and for attending. Have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the event.
Peggy Bishop is awesome. Thank you so much. We could probably use a little of your CPA skills today because there's a little math involved. So here it is. You heard about the $15,000 match, and you heard about the very special challenge that Peggy just offered. So right now, if you give $100 in the next 30 minutes, your gift will become $300 for the YWCA services. So that $15,000 match, Peggy's challenge, will all help us get to our $50,000 goal today. So Tribute's theme this year is Beyond the Ballroom. And on one hand, we're stating the obvious. We're not in a ballroom, but our theme is also about recognizing opportunities for each of us to live out the YWCA's mission beyond the ballroom. There's a role for everyone in this work, everyone. Over the last couple of weeks, many of you purchased the YWCA's mission gift boxes. Those were delivered to you this morning, and I know you were excited to open them. As the name implies, the items in the box are tied to the YWCA's mission. Domestic and sexual violence exist where racism and sexism converge, but we can put an end to these. It is simply a requirement of relationship, the willingness to learn about and from one another, the willingness to contribute to and with each other in order to enrich and deepen our connection. Relationship is the antidote to inequity, injustice, and abuse. So what you'll find in your mission box are things that will help you to connect with others. There are affirmation cards meant to uplift and encourage. The children's book that was selected opens a child's mind to the existence of women leaders who may or may not look like them. There are resources that educate and encourage us so that we are prepared to have hard but necessary conversations in our relationships. If you did not purchase a mission box before, but you're interested in purchasing one now, you can still do so. Just click on the link in the chat box. And just a quick note, if you are on a mobile device, that chat feature might be a little hidden, but it's there. The mission boxes are one way to engage in the YWCA's work. But today, we're also introducing the YWCA's Community Engagement Program, which is intended to provide hands-on, direct ways to engage in the work of helping survivors and promoting social justice. This includes teaching classes about things like tech safety or cooking on a budget. Or you and your friends could prepare a dinner once a month for the families at our domestic violence shelter. Or you could work with families who are participating in our supervised parenting program. Lots of opportunity. And over the next several months, we will continue to add opportunities to engage. The details about this phase of our community engagement program are on our website. So please check them out at ywcawcmi.org/get-involved. The link is, of course, in the chat box. And now, without further ado, we begin the celebration of the YWCA's 2020 Tribute Award recipients. thrilled to introduce our first Tribute Award recipient, Shannon Cohen. In August 2018, the Harvard Business Review released a study that found that women of color will make up the majority of the U.S. workforce by 2060. That's not too far away. Translated into dollars, they projected that women of color will generate $1 trillion as consumers and $361 billion in revenue as entrepreneurs. And that's just the baseline projection. The potential is enormous. And that's where Shannon enters the picture. She co-founded Sisters Who Lead, which focuses on advancing the careers of women of color, specifically into executive leadership. For Shannon, helping others means teaching leaders how to develop creative, innovative, and nurturing cultures in their organizations. It also means developing that same kind of culture within ourselves. To that end, Shannon launched Tough Skin, Soft Heart. And under that umbrella, she has authored 2 books. She's produced an affirmation-rich product line, hosts the annual Rockstar Women Brunch, and she broadcasts her own podcast, which she describes as an inspirational granola bar. And I myself have been eating it up since she launched it. And I think you are going to love Shannon too.
I always love when people ask me about Shannon Cohen, Inc. My company is a reflection of what I believe is my purpose and my passion. So no matter what I'm doing, whether that's as a consultant going into organizations, whether that is as a public speaker, as a podcaster, as an author, as a researcher, at the hub of what everything is that desire to see people thrive at the intersection of joy and purpose. So I often invite the people that are on the front line of change or justice to come and have a seat and just be. To be able to lay their titles and their roles and their responsibilities down for a minute. And that's passion work. That makes me come alive.
I didn't probably get to know Shannon. It was during the time where she was working for Kent County Prevention, doing a lot of the youth programming. And I think it was through Blend, Business Leaders Link to Encourage New Directions. Like many other people, you just get drawn to Shannon, and it's hard not to, whether it's things like Sisters Who Lead, her support of the Latina Network. You hear her talk, you hear her present, you see how much she cares and loves her family, and you just know she's a friend for life.
I have a 6-year-old son. I happened to be on a Zoom call for work, and I was in the space of introducing ourselves. And my son made a cameo appearance on Zoom calls, which is like real, right? So he inserted himself, little brown face and all, came up on the screen and said, "And my mom is an inventor." And like tears welled in my eyes because I've never called myself an inventor. But have I invented things? I have. When I think about what drew me to the work that I have the honor to do today, I think about my origin story. I come from a long line of servant leaders, folks that were activists in their communities. I remember my grandparents always teaching me, and my parents too, that strength was for service and not status. And I live by that. I think in everything that I do, I'm grateful for every day that I get the opportunity to use the strengths that I've been given from a space of service. True story, I was doing laundry when Misty Stanton called me to tell me that I was a recipient of the Tribute Awards. I said to her at least 11 times, "What in the world?" Literally, what in the world? What in the world? Like about 11 times. I am so grateful to know that there are other people who have rested in the shade of the legacy of what I've been able to create and have walked alongside of me to create it. What in the world? Right? It's a gift. I'm grateful.
So Shannon, congratulations and welcome. We are so happy that you are here.
Thank you, Sharice. Only the YWCA can make you teary talking about yourself. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
That is fantastic. And you were leading us off today, and it sounds like our audience today is inspired by a challenge. You all are responding to the call, and thank you so much. They're giving, and they're also tuning in saying to you, Shannon, congrats. We love you. And I love that spirit. So what is your heart feeling today?
All the feelings. I am elated. I am excited. I am thankful to see the mission of the YWCA and the Tribute Award happening, even in disruption and pandemic. This is great.
Beautiful. That is great. So one of the things that we always hear from Tribute attendees is, I wish I had a chance to learn a little bit more about the honorees. So we get to do that today. And we actually asked them to contribute and send in some questions that they'd like to ask. So we picked one. And one of the favorite questions that people want to know is, you're filling everyone else's cup. How is Shannon taking care of Shannon?
That is such a good question. You know, I think that self-care in 2020 has looked so different. It's so different in disruption and pandemic. And so I tend to think in three things: micro actions in micro moments that can become micro habits that advance my emotional health and my wellness. So a lot of times I don't have an hour, or I might not have time for a spa day, but I'll think I have 15 minutes. What can I do? What's an activity or a space of rest I can invite myself into in this 15-minute micro moment, and do some type of micro action that fills my well? And that's what's been getting me through.
Beautiful. So I'm hoping that maybe each of us can find a little 15-minute or 5-minute micro moment for each of us. And that's such a gift to us.
Absolutely.
In this space today, we're talking about tribute, and we are honoring you. We are honoring LaDonna. We are honoring Olivia and tons of other women. So for you, who would you pay tribute to today?
You know, as I think about that word tribute, to me, it's a verb. It's something that is a living word, not a one and done moment in time. And so when I think about who I give tribute to, I think in my life, I try to live my life every day in a way that gives honor to the people that have gone before me. So elders and ancestors, I give honor to, you know, my family, my husband and my son. I give honor to the difference makers that every day wake up and swing their feet out of bed and knowingly navigate invisible realities and still show up to lead, love, and serve in transformational ways. So I couldn't even give you names. We'd be here all day, but I'm just grateful for all of the difference makers who make my world better. Those whose names I know and those whose names I don't.
Oh, that is fantastic. Well, we are thrilled to make today in honor of you and thank you and pay tribute to you. So thank you, my sister. Thank you. So the Rising Tribute Award is given to a woman with less than 15 years in her field of endeavor. And while our next honoree, LaDonna Norman, has just 5, when you meet her, you are talking to a seasoned pro who has been battle tested on the front lines of the housing crisis. Before the pandemic, LaDonna was a recognized presence at city commission meetings. You'd see her, you'd hear her tenaciously arguing for better local housing and neighborhood investment policy. In the words of her nominator, LaDonna is not afraid to use her outside voice. She co-founded the citywide neighbor group called Together We Are Safe, Bridging the Gap. Its purpose is to connect community, to offer resources, to solicit input, and build relationships. With a shared appreciation for neighbor-to-neighbor care, Together We Are Safe partnered with the Grand Rapids Area Mutual Aid Network, which has brought desperately needed financial resources into neighborhoods during the pandemic. And what truly makes community is a sense of relationship. But before that can happen, you have to be connected. And in our community, LaDonna is the one who makes those connections.
My great aunt, Idella Williams, is a pastor and did a lot of outreach ministries here in Grand Rapids. And from a very young age, I could remember her just getting community kids together, bringing them to church, feeding them, counseling the parents. There was just a number of things that she did, and her husband, Albert Williams, did. So I think I've just had some great role models in my family and around me to say, hey, this is what's needed. I want to be part of the change. Together We're Safe is a grassroots organization. It was created by community, for community, and with community in mind. When I use the social media and I push resources, it takes a community effort. I wanted to make sure that everybody knew about these resources.
Probably a lot of the work that's actually going on and that's effective in the community right now is there because LaDonna was one of the people calling attention to it first. She's just high energy, very friendly, interested in everybody's story, interested in talking to everybody. A lot of the ways that we talk about connecting to others in this city a lot of times has to do with a certain professionalism or respectability or what organization are you with. And that's just, LaDonna is really good at breaking past all of that.
Together We're Safe partnered with the Grand Rapids Area Mutual Aid Network, and that was to give funds to individuals in marginalized places. We've given over $120,000 away since March 2020. Together We're Safe leads by example. We want to put it out there all the time. Let's lead by example. We all need each other. I'm doing this for my children. I'm doing this for my sister. She died November 15th, 2019. I want her to know that it's okay. Nobody will ever be left behind. And this is a judgment-free zone when it comes to me. And I will do everything in my power to help the next person if it means saving a life. Accepting this award, I'm accepting it on behalf of my community because this is what community looks like as a unit when we work together. It's about what's best for our community. So this award, it goes to my community, not just me. So I love my community.
So LaDonna, you love your community, and clearly your community loves you because you are here as a tribute recipient today. So how are you feeling?
I am excited and humbled.
Good. Yes, you can do a happy dance. That is fantastic. We are thrilled and so happy for you and so grateful for the work that you've done in such a short period of time. So we are in this space and we have an opportunity to get to know a little bit more about you. I know you're all about community, but if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
If I had to describe myself in 3 words, it would be loud with purpose, determined, and loving.
Loud with purpose. I love that. And you are clearly determined because housing and building connections in your community means so much. So in your space and in your work and in your video, we learned a little bit about the people that are important to you. So in this space today, who would you pay tribute to?
I would pay tribute to my Uncle Albert Williams. I call him Doc. I would want him to know that I appreciate everything he's done for me. I would want him to know that I thank him for believing in me. I thank him for giving me the confidence to be who I am and teaching me everything he knows. And I thank him for allowing me to see that there was purpose in my pain.
Beautiful. I have no doubt he's really proud of everything that you're doing and everything that you are today.
Yes.
You mentioned in your video that you have a special place in your heart for your sister. And I know she's with you. Is she a part of your tribute? And what does that mean for you today?
She is. My twin sister died November 15th, 2 hours before our birthday on November 16th. And I think that I found purpose in that pain as well. It made me more open-minded and compassionate. And I would want her to know that even from the background I come from, that you can still make it. You can still be victorious. You can still do great things, and great things are possible for everyone. So this is for you, Donanna.
That is beautiful. And thank you for sharing that with us and her with us today. I know both she and your uncle are right here with you today, and we are celebrating you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Tribute has always been a community celebration. So as we were planning today's event, it was important to us that we find a way for folks watching to participate in the spirit of Tribute. So if you registered on November 5th, you would have received a persimmon envelope like this. And inside, there's a card. What we'd like you to do is write the name of a person who inspires you, someone whose efforts and commitment and compassion have enriched our community. Then take a quick photo and post it to social media with our event hashtag YWTribute. And if you're not on social media, you can go to the Contact Us page on our website and email it to us. The address is ywcawcmi.org/contact. And one last reminder, you still have about 10 minutes left to take advantage of the challenge match that our board treasurer, Peggy, announced earlier today. And a lot of you have responded already. In fact, we've heard from the chat that someone says Tribute is their micro moment. And that is beautiful. So you're inspired by Shannon, by LaDonna, by Olivia. Make this your micro moment. So before I introduce the recipient of YWCA's Tribute Student Award, we want to recognize the 3 recipients of the YWCA's Helen Claytor Achievement Scholarship. Just as the Women of Achievement Gallery complements the Adult Tribute Award recipients, the Helen Claytor Achievement Scholarships are a complement to the Tribute Student Award recipient. And when it comes to our student nominees, each year, the selection committee is simply astounded by the work being done by so many fantastic young women today. We think of these scholarships as a way to raise up the next generation of leaders. This year's recipients are Stella Miller from Northview High School, Lainey Stegman from Forest Hills Northern High School, and Akira Tribble, who attends East Kentwood High School. Stella, Lainey, and Akira, who are also participants in the YWCA's Helen Claytor Center for Girls Leadership, will each receive a $500 scholarship, and we could not be more pleased to recognize these exceptional young leaders. Congratulations to each and every one of you. And now, I am delighted to introduce Olivia Grover, who is the recipient of our 2020 YWCA Tribute Student Award, as well as the $2,000 YWCA Judy Lloyd Student Leadership Scholarship. Like Stella, Lainey, and Akira, Olivia comes to us from the YWCA's Helen Claytor Center for Girls Leadership. Our goal is to help participants realize that they are already leaders, and they have the ability to impact issues that matter to them today. Olivia is a beautiful example of the inherent capacity of girls to lead. She was a City High School student government representative for 2 years. She was a member of the City High School yearbook staff and served as managing editor for 2 years, where she also mentored members of the new staff. Olivia was also one of just 2 organizers who coordinated their peers in local preparation activities for the 2019 Global Climate Strike, committed to the environment. She's graduated at the top of her class and was named valedictorian and a member of the National Honor Society. Olivia began her freshman year at DePaul University earlier this fall. Probably the best way to describe the last semester of high school class of 2020 would be tough. Participating in so many of the traditional milestones just wasn't possible this year. Yet for Olivia and for lots of high school seniors, they simply kept looking ahead to their bright future. And that sense of pragmatic optimism should give us all a little more confidence.
Olivia has been part of the YWCA's Girls Leadership Programming since 2014. I've been able to see Olivia change from a very quiet, reserved student that sat in the back of my middle school classes to being an outspoken leader.
Past graduates had introduced the program to City Young Women for Change, and also just me growing as a person and recognizing that There are issues in the world that, that I think we need to work to fix, and educating yourself and empowering yourself to learn about these issues and take action. So I guess some of my favorite memories at the YWCA was obviously our trip to the March for Our Lives rally in DC. We've also attended the neighborhood summit here in Grand Rapids and gotten involved in the community a little bit. I've also really enjoyed when we go volunteer at Kids Food Basket, just packing lunches for kids.
I would love to see her channel everything she knows about social justice and identity and intersectionality and carry that into the world of journalism.
I hope to be a person that's writing stories, that's pushing for the truth, for real news reporting. And I think that that's a job that someone who is quieter can do, but also be supporting and benefiting the movement. As I'm going into journalism, I wanted to be in a big city, and DePaul's patron is St. Vincent de Paul. He asked the question, what must be done? And I think to this day, DePaul really pushes that question, asks of its students what must be done. Social justice and helping the community is really a pillar of DePaul.
Seeing other people recognize the greatness that we see in her, but also for her to realize that greatness in herself has been really powerful.
It was definitely exciting to learn that I had been chosen for this award, having the scholarship to put towards realizing the aspiration of wanting to go into journalism, and being able to, just make it a little bit easier to get there is really great.
So we have a little love fest going. Apparently in the chat, lots of people are saying congratulations to you, including one of your fellow honorees, Lainey. So
wonderful.
Congratulations to you, Olivia, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling? What are you feeling today?
Oh, excitement, a little nerves, but so grateful to the YWCA for this award and for the scholarship.
Well, we are pleased to present that to you, and just the more we learn about your work, your vision, your commitment to community and change and active journalism, I think is fantastic. So today we have, again, an opportunity to learn a little bit more from you that outside of the video. So if you were to pay tribute to someone, who would that be today?
There are a lot of people, past and present, who I would love to pay tribute to, and they've all really been teachers to me, and in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, they're the academic teachers that I've had in the past and continue to have in college, who have really helped develop me as a curious person, growing my knowledge, but also maybe the more unconventional teachers that I've had. My friends, my loved ones, my mom especially, they've all really just been a big part of helping me develop into who I am and hopefully who I continue to grow to be.
Beautiful. That is absolutely fantastic. And love seeing that sense of shout out to educators, because we know they're probably a tougher job there doesn't exist than teachers right about now. So that's great. One of the things that you've got to experience is freshman year in a virtual world, probably not the start you had intended.
For sure.
But we're curious, our attendees are curious, what does the world look like through the eyes of a freshman in college today?
Seeing, the news headlines and just the overall state of the world can be very disappointing, disheartening. But I also think that I guess as a result of how our world looks, there are a lot of youth advocates and activists who are, organizing all over the United States and all over the world, really, to bring a better world around for us to live in, in the future, in the now, really. And I think, with the prevalence of social media, we've all really, it's been easier to see that change really be implemented and pushed for.
That is great. We are all learning from you in your activism. learning that change can happen today, connection can happen through virtual spaces, and you're leading the way. So I can't wait to read your stories, to be moved by your activism and your journalism and telling the truth in spaces where we need it the most. So thank you and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So before we say goodbye today, just a quick reminder that you can record a personal congratulatory video message for the honorees or for Women of Achievement by going to videobooth.app/YWCA Tribute. And that link will be available until the end of today. Also, the videos for Shannon, LaDonna, and Olivia are all posted on the YWCA's website. So view them, be inspired by them, share them. Thank you all so very much for joining us. You've been engaged. We feel like you are here with us today. Your generosity means so much, and support for YWCA's work to care for survivors comes through in your gifts and your time and your energy every day. So much about 2020 has been unprecedented and unpredictable. But when it comes to tribute and the YWCA's supporters, you always provide us with inspiration, with appreciation, and reasons to celebrate. So thank you to the wonderful team that is here with us today, those that are out there attending and participating and offering shout outs. We hope you all have a wonderful afternoon.
Congratulations to this year's tribute honorees. We are so excited to celebrate you and thank you for all that you've done in this community.
Congratulations, everyone. I am so proud to be part of a community that's represented by people like you and your accomplishments. Thank you so much for all you do.
On behalf of the YWCA and the community you serve, thank you to the powerful women who are our 2020 tribute honorees.
I'm excited to be able to offer my congratulations to the 2020 YWCA Tribute Award honorees, Shannon, LaDonna, and Olivia. Thank you. We are proud to welcome you to the YWCA family.
Congratulations, LaDonna, on winning this award, the Tribute Award by the YWCA. You deserve it so much. Thank you for how much you love the community. The community loves you right back.
Hi, I'm a staff at the YWCA. I just wanted to say congrats to all of the honorees this year. Y'all are amazing, incredible. I'm glad that we get to honor you. And hopefully this will never be the end of the relationship, only the beginning.